싶다 말하고 아무렇지 않게 잘 자라고 했어 잘 참아왔던
Okay, so we're live.
눈물이 드디어 보고 싶다고 말하고 아무렇지 않게 너무나도 사랑했기에 이렇게 아픈가 봐 대단하진 않지만 행복만 줄 수 있을 거라 생각했는데 마치 흘러가는 바람처럼 넌 영원히 잡으려 해도 잡히지가 않아 나의 다 손가락 사이로 빠져나가는 날 흘러가겠지.
Okay, so I think we can start the show. Taehoon, do you want to begin?
Of course, thank you so much for that, Nisa. Welcome everyone to our Lunar New Year celebration. My name is Taehoon Kim. I'm the campaign chair of John Cho's District 20 for City Council campaign. I'd like to welcome you all for being here tonight. We have this year is the year of the ox, and the ox is supposed to represent an animal that's hardworking and steadfast. So I hope this year we'll have those kind of qualities for everyone's lives. So we have a small intimate group. We're just gonna quickly go around and introduce ourselves. So if I'm going to just name the next person I see on my screen. And when you're done, just name the next person and just talk about what you have done last night for the holidays. I see Miriam in my screen. So I'll pass it off to Miriam. You're on mute, Miriam.
So Taehoon, I think we should discuss what the event is about and who are the performers. Can you give a brief overview of that? Taehoon, you're muted.
Okay, sorry about that. We have an exciting lineup tonight. We have going to have John Cho, who's our candidate, who'll be speaking, followed by Isil Park, and then we're going to have a virtual performance by Epic 88. So John, do you want to start us off?
John, you're also muted.
Sorry. Hi, everyone. My name is John Cho. I'm a community activist, former chief of staff to John Liu, executive director of the Greater Flushing Chamber of Commerce, and now I'm a candidate for the City Council for District 20. Kapsu, do you want to?
Hi. 안녕하세요. 제 이름은 최용훈이고요. 오랜 기간 동안 커뮤니티 액티비스트였고 시의원 잔류 당시 시의원 사무실 사무장으로 일했습니다. 지금 현재는 20지구 시의원에 출마.
I want to offer my greetings. May you all have a healthy and prosperous new year. 새해 많이 받으세요.
새해 인사드립니다. 새해 복 많이 받으세요.
That's what we say every year, but this year, health and prosperity are harder to obtain. The pandemic, anti-Asian hate crimes, and discrimination against immigrants threatens our health and spirits. The related economic downturn is forcing many of our businesses to close and has cost many of us our jobs. Evictions loom for many.
이렇게 새해 복 많이 받으세요라고 인사드리는 게 의례적 인사였는데 금년에는 사뭇 다릅니다. 금년에는 우리의 건강과 번영이 추구하는데 많은 어려움을 겪었고 어려움을 겪고 있는데요. 그 탓은 팬데믹 그리고 반에이션 범죄 그리고 반이민 차별 등이 우리의 건강과 우리의 건강을 해치고 있습니다. 이와 연관한 경제적 불황은 많은 우리의 비즈니스를 폐업하게 만들었고 많은 사람들이 실직하게도 만들었고 많은 사람들이 집에서 쫓겨날 처지에 놓이게 됐습니다.
We need justice for Asian lives lost to violence and neglect. We can get it if we join other groups in solidarity.
우리는 지금까지 사라져버린 폭력과 버림받아서 사라져버린 아시아인들의 생명들을 다시 생명들의 정의를 원합니다. 우리 그 정의를 추구할 수 있는데요. 그것은 우리가 서로 뭉쳐서 연대하면 되는 것입니다.
Though we can't have our traditional annual Lunar New Year parade this year in Flushing, our message for the Year of the Ox is one of hope. If we stand together, we can survive and thrive.
비록 우리가 금년에는 전통적으로 해왔던 시가 행진을 할 수 없으나 우리의 금년 소해에 맞은 우리의 메시지는 명확합니다. 그것은 바로 희망인데요. 우리가 같이 뭉쳐서 서 있다면 우리는 살아남을 수 있고 다시 번영할 수 있습니다.
I'm running to become your next representative to the New York City Council to bring a message of hope and solidarity to our community.
그것 때문에 제가 시의원 후보에 나섰습니다. 희망과 연대의 메시지를 우리 커뮤니티에 주기 위해서 출마했습니다.
With your help, we can restore power and justice to the everyday New Yorkers and working families of our community.
여러분의 도움과 협조라면 일반 보통의 뉴요커들과 서민들, 우리 커뮤니티의 서민들이 다시 힘을 얻고 정의를 회복할 수 있을 겁니다.
Please join our movements, become a volunteer, help us spread the word, donate. Visit us at johnchoe.nyc, that's JOHNCHOE.nyc, to join the movement today.
부디 우리의 운동에 동참하시고 자원봉사도 해주시고 우리의 의견과 메시지를 널리 알려주시기 바랍니다. 그리고 부디 다음에 웹사이트를 한번 와주세요. johncho@nyc.
We're joined by two special guests today. I want to introduce first John An, who is the president of the Korean American Association of Queens, KAQ. He has been doing an amazing job representing our community. Only yesterday, I was helping him give out Lunar New Year food to our community. And I wanted to ask him to offer some greetings for the Year of the Ox. John.
오늘 이 자리에는 퀸스 한인의 전한 회장님이 나오셨는데요. 안 회장님은 커뮤니티에서 여러 가지 혁혁한 일을 해오셨는데 어제 같이 커뮤니티 주민들한테 한국 고유 음식을 나눠주게 됐습니다. 전한 선생님.
네. Can you hear me? Hello, everyone. Okay. Yeah. First of all, thank you, John, for inviting me. Hello, everyone. My name is John An. I'm the president for Korean American Association of Queens. And first of all, Happy New Year. Happy Lunar New Year. 다들 새해 복 많이 받으세요. Yeah. So I guess yesterday. Lunar New Year, supposed to be one of the big holidays for us. And Friday, I guess, started from Friday. And yesterday, I mean, every year we're supposed to have like one of the biggest event in Queens and Flushing, Lunar New Year parade. And we've been doing that for many years, but because of the COVID-19, it was canceled this year. So yesterday, what we decided to do was, give out some foods and spread the love and like John said, it's a year of ox and also year of hope. So just wanted to encourage people and give some glimpse of hope by sharing some love, by giving out masks and hand sanitizers and 떡국, which is the rice cake that we eat um, in our Lunar New Year. And we did that in Flushing. And John, I thank John. He has joined us yesterday, giving out these items to the people in the community. And thank you once again. So I guess Lunar New Year has been enjoyed. It has a long history. We enjoy the Lunar New Year of like more than thousands of years in Asia. And in New York City, actually, the public school has been celebrated as holiday since 2016.
Yes.
And many communities, we celebrate, and it's a new year. So yeah, but I guess John, thanks for putting this together, and I hope everyone have a happy Lunar New Year, and wish you guys the prosperous, healthy, and I guess hope for better days to come,
Yes.
and wish you guys the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, President On. Would you like to also say that quickly in Korean?
오케이. 네, 여러분 안녕하세요. 퀸즈 아님의 회장 잔아닙니다. 우리 새해 복 많이 받으시고요. 그리고 사실 힘들었던 2020년 경자년이 이제 지나고 2021년 신축년을 맞이했습니다. 2021년에는 다들 건강하시고 그리고 행복한 한 해가 되었으면 좋겠습니다. 비록 코로나19 때문에 멀리 있는 가족들에게 다녀오지는 못하지만 정말 마음만은 함께 따뜻하게 설 명절을 보내시기 바랍니다. 새해는 아직까지 우리가 열어보지 못한 우리에게 주어진 가장 큰 선물인데요. 즐거운 설날들 맞이하여 모든 소망들 그리고 또 계획하는 것들 올해 꼭 이루시고 그리고 또 건강한 그리고 행복한 한 해 되시기를 정말 기원합니다. 그리고 어제 사실 저희가 루너 뉴 이어 때마다 플러싱에서 프레이드를 하는데 올해는 코로나19로 인해서 퍼레이드랑 그다음에 금강산에서 저희가 떡국을 우리 퀸즈에 있는 교민들에게 떡국 잔치를 베풀었었는데 올해는 코로나 때문에 이런 일들을 하지 못해가지고 어제 그 H마트 156가에 있는 H마트 하나뱅크 앞에서 저희가 떡이랑 그다음에 마스크랑 그리고 또 손소정제를 사람들에게 이렇게 나누어주는 설맞이 사랑의 나눔을 했었는데요. 우리 잔초 후보님께서도 우리 나와주셔서 함께 사람들에게 이런 아이템들을 나눠주는 일에 동참해 주셨는데 너무 감사드리고 그리고 또 정말 여러분들 여기 계신 여러분들 정말 올해는 모든 소원 이루시고 그리고 또 건강하시고 희망찬 한 해를 시작하시기 바랍니다. 감사합니다.
Thank you so much, President On. We're also joined by another community leader, Austin Shafran. Austin is a civic leader who supports the Korean American community as Democratic Party district leader in Northeast Queens and a board member of the Queens Jewish Community Council. Austin spent more than a decade serving our community, starting as community liaison for Congressman Gary Ackerman, communications director for New York City Finance Chair David Weprin, and deputy commissioner for the state's Economic Development Agency. Austin now runs a successful small business serving as president of the New York premier government relations firm, Metropolitan Public Strategies. Without any further ado, Austin, could you offer some greetings?
Yes, thank you so much, John, for inviting me. Really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you to everyone else on the call for allowing me a few minutes to say hello and to really wish everyone a happy, healthy, and prosperous new year. John very kindly gave a few of the nice points in my bio. And of course, I am running for city council in the adjacent area in the 19th council district. And of course, there's obviously a lot of commonality between the two districts. But I would say, by and large, the reason that I'm running now is less about what I have done and more about what I'm afraid of losing. I have two sons, one 5 years old and one 5 weeks old. And I have two elderly parents in their 70s. And in this moment, in this incredibly challenging time, I am a nervous father. I am a scared son. And I'm deeply concerned that the city is not doing enough to help communities like ours recover from COVID, whether it's lack of vaccination sites, lack of transparency, accountability, and communication to parents in our schools. Believe me, I know a lot about that since Friday. When my son's schools had another COVID scare, and I feel like I'm just swimming upstream. Seeing all of the various business leaders and the stores that have just completely shut down, and the workers that have been placed on either temporary or unfortunately permanent layoff. It is a very, very difficult time, and I feel like with the experience that I've helped develop both in government and in the private sector, and the motivation of being both a father and a son that cares about his community and would like to change it, that that's the qualification for office that I would put above all of the rest. And I'm very proud to have done advocacy work around affordable housing and school funding, around food security and economic development, for particularly for small businesses. I come out of a labor and a progressive background. I'm incredibly proud that I had an opportunity to work with the New York Immigration Coalition and help run the driver's licenses for undocumented immigrants campaign. I'm very proud that over the past year, I've helped advocate for municipal voting rights for non-citizen New Yorkers. And I think, particularly in this COVID moment, we need to not just think outside the box. We need to reshape the box. We need to break the box. We need to be innovative and use the compassion and the drive that we have for all others to understand that if everyone doesn't count the same, then nobody counts at all. And the reason why I'm running is to make sure that everybody counts, from my family to your family to our neighbors in your district. And I hope to listen and learn from everyone here and throughout the community respectfully, and then do the best job I can as both a candidate and hopefully as a council member to meet those needs in this unique moment that we find ourselves in. So again, thank you, John. Thank you, everyone, for allowing me the chance to say hello and to meet with everyone here.
Thanks so much, Austin. I'm going to turn this back to Taehoon, who's emceeing today's event.
Thank you, John.
Thank you so much for that, John. So the next part of our segment is Isil Park. Isil E. Park is the first woman poet laureate of Queens and an award-winning poet, singer, hula dancer, surfer, certified yoga teacher, lobi lobi practitioner, and mother. Over the past decade, Isil had traveled around the world reading poetry, singing, and playing music at over 300 music festivals and cultural venues all over the world. She has organized readings and benefits to raise awareness about Korean reunification, to support women fighting domestic violence, and to help victims of natural disasters. In recognition of her service, Isil received the Sister of Fire Award from the Women of Color Resource Center, a certificate of merit from John Liu, and had the honor of having her birthday, May 24, become Isil E. Park Day in Queens, New York. Isil's first book, The Temperature of This Water, published by Kaya Press, received 3 literary awards, including the PEN America Beyond Margins Award for Outstanding Writers of Color, and is taught in colleges across the country. Her next book, Angel and Hannah, a novel in verse, will be published by One World Penguin Random House in May 2021. She now lives in Hawaii, where she is raising 2 daughters and following her lifelong passion of music, poetry, and hula. Tonight, she'll be performing original works, sonnets, and songs, and including Ode to the Picnic Singers. It's all up to you, is it now?
안녕하세요. How are you? Hope everybody is well. Happy New Year. 새해 복 많이 받으세요. I'm very honored and blessed to be here with you today. It's a beautiful community, and I just want to say thank you to John Cho and John An, and it makes me so happy and proud to see Korean men doing so much for their community, and Austin too. You know, everybody's doing so much for your community over there, and it's a really beautiful thing, and I feel very blessed and honored to be a part of this collective and this event. So without further ado, I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about what's going on and in the world. You know, I know it's affecting all of us in different ways, and for me too, it's affected me in strange ways. You know how you feel that anti-Asian thing going around. And so even before this event, I was going to actually go to a nice kind of cafe to do this event because it's a special event for me to be with my Koreans and to be with community in New York and to be celebrating the new year. But the place where I usually go, I feel like has been a little bit strange. You know, because I'm always there, because I'm Asian American, and because my kids are running around, they gave me a couple notices about, you know, things. And then today I was gonna go there to do this, and they shut off the internet. So I literally couldn't do this over there, you know? So strange little passive aggressive microaggressions are happening to Asians everywhere, including to myself. And so instead of like a beautiful background, you're seeing the truth of like my humble abode and my cottage in Hawaii with my daughter's fort in the background and like the stuffed animals. But that's okay, because that's maybe more real, you know? And this is what I'm experiencing, is just like, because I live in a kind of like affluent, like more like what we call snowboard neighborhood around here, things like that are happening more. And it's, you know, it's just a tiny fraction though of what's happening to Asian Americans all over our country. And I read, or I heard in Amanda Gorman's Instagram page, who's like the new youth poet laureate, that the number of Asian American crimes against us has increased by 1,900% since the past administration, you know? So my heart goes out to everybody who's feeling something and who's experiencing stuff, but we can get through this together. And I wanna share some nice poems and songs to hopefully lift your spirit. So without further ado, I'm gonna start with this one song and poem that's called Ode to the Picnic Singers. And it's a song that my parents used to sing back in the day in the parks in Flushing Meadow Park in Queens when we used to get together. So it's kind of like an old love song. And then the poem, which was published in Century of the Tiger, 100 Years of Korean Culture in America, is just a celebration of Korean Americans and our lives and the women who, you know, uphold these families and sing and cook and keep everything together. So I hope you enjoy. It's called Ode to the Picnic Singers. And it starts with an old song called Saranga. And I learned this song, by the way, from some Korean harmonies in Korea at the comfort women camps that they have. They have these new villages for them. So I learned this from Haram Harmony over there. So much respect to them. 사랑을 하려면 여유롭게 한단다. 연내 사랑 별지 말자. 굳게 굳게 가진 사랑 여화둥당 내 사랑 둥당가 둥당가 여화둥당 내 사랑 꽃과 나비 노을 노을 춤을 추고 우리의 사랑은 아이가이가이 두리두 실 좋으시고. And then at dusk, that woman climbed on top of a picnic table and belted out a Patty Kim hit. The plastic spoon like a clutched mic in her fist, and the galbi spit and bubbled dark as azalea and crushed black diamond. That meat, soy sauce, and sizzling in the July heat waves. that hummed like the yellow frisbee flung over tiny Yuna An, who was kneeling among the clovers and the dandelions. Aigu, the sky flapped above us like a soiled work shirt on a clothesline, while we twisted our ankles to Chinese jump rope, then flew by on flowered banana seats, the wind teasing the streamers and the cool black whips of our hair, past our brothers who were lost in the long switchgrass and the dewy goose shit. And our mothers raced, piggybacking frilled babies on their backs to catch butter cookies strung on a white finish line with their teeth to the slow opening and closing butterfly thighs of their men, far from the dented Volvos and Hyundais bereft in the parking lot. These husbands whirled and spun in dervishes around that imported leather rugby ball from Seoul, bathed in a halo of their own sweat and kicked up dirt our parents gathered. They shook loose the workday, the may I help you pleases, their Hanguk tongues like cool geese skimming over cold lake. They popped open barrel-shaped Budweisers and let the foam spill over. They let that foam spill over. My father tilted a can to Sara's mouth and laughed at her sputtering, a laughter so serious. I know, I forgive him. His hungry, rough cheeks waning to the women's hungry, rough songs, and Changyeon's amma sang like a torn up hymnal. She sang, and we dropped the twigs and pigeon feathers from our little hands to sit cross-legged in the nest of our mothers. She sang like a yanked out phone cord, shrill, cut, and ringing, a 70s pop ballad fervid with religion, so unlike our Sunday falsettos. She sang, and we believed in a smaller, gruffer, chip-toothed God. She sang that dusk down. And we, staring up at her knees, we bathed in the blue fall of each other's shadows, while the pop and the panchan, the paper plates, and the water coolers were left, for once, gratefully unattended. Okay, so that was my, thank you. mahalo, 고맙습니다, 고맙습니다. 새해 복 많이 받으세요. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Sunday. Aloha. And yeah, I just want to say also that John Cho is such a genuinely good guy, okay? You are lucky to have him running for council over there. And I've known him for many years through the Korean American community in Queens, and he's always been so like sincere and kind-hearted and, you know, trying to do good. So I'm so happy for him and all that he's doing over there in Queens. So it's really nice to see how people grow and evolve, and over time, like, you know, it's just wonderful to see how people blossom in their lives and what they're doing. So next, I'm gonna read some stuff from my new book. I'm very excited. It's called Angel and Hannah. This book took over 10 years to write, okay? So that also includes taking a big hiatus to raise my daughters. So I have 2 daughters, and that took a bunch of time, to be honest, but it's amazing how things can happen in life. You could get a second wind. And so it was picked up by Random House, which is a pretty nice publisher. So if it's okay with everybody, is it okay if I drop a link in the you know, sidebar? And that way, if you want, you can support and purchase. And if you want, they're also doing a giveaway right now on Goodreads. So you can get it actually for free. They're giving away 10 of these books for the next 15 days. So all you have to do is fill out your information and then you'll get it. And basically, it's a love story. Oh, thank you. Okay, so I'll just drop the links in there. One is to get the free book giveaway, and the other is to pre-order if you feel like it. It'll come out in May. This is just an early copy that they sent me. And it's a love story about a young Korean girl and a Puerto Rican boy in Brooklyn and Queens, New York, early 1990s, which is like the classic era for hip hop and everything. And so that's kind of what the book is about. It does have some sections which talk about Korean American culture and, you know, her parents and stuff and their struggles. So I'm gonna read those sections because I feel like that makes sense for today. And I hope you enjoy. So just to give some context, this song, Arirang, of course, all of y'all Koreans know, is like the unofficial love song anthem of Korea, but it's a kind of like a, you know, a bitter love song or a bittersweet love song about two lovers who are separated. Oh, look, the cat is there. We have all kinds of people watching and animals. And so I'm gonna start by singing the Korean love song, Arirang, and then we'll go into the poem. And it's just a sonnet that talks about her feelings and when she's going to meet her young lover for the first time. 아리랑 아리랑 아라리요 아리랑 고개를 넘어간다 나를 버리고 가시는 님 신이도 못 가서 발병난다. In the old Korean song, one lover leaves another on Arirang Mountain. You won't walk 10 li without your feet aching, she sings, because that is the nature of love. Memories live on, make a home inside of the body. It's a wisdom from Hana's home country, from women who love in moon villages far from the sea. When Hana's mother left Korea with Hana in her belly, she stole that song across the ocean, sang it as lullaby as she bathed Hana's young skin. Years later, Hana hums Arirang on her way to meet her first lover, from the moon village of Queens to the moon village of Brooklyn. 아이고, 바람이 났다. April, a fresh wind blows inside her. Last night, the wind shook mimosas on Fifth, so she walks on pink petals to greet him. Okay, so that's one sonnet from this book. This book is made of mostly sonnets and hip hop verses and also free verse. So it's kind of a mix of all of that together. And how's everybody doing? Are you having a good time? You enjoy it? Okay, right on. Sweet. And John An, thank you so much for everything you're doing for the community. And that's so wonderful. That warms my heart to hear that you did giveaways on the streets. So, oh, you guys are so good. You're making me feel all auntie-ish. Okay. So I'm going to read another poem from this book and then end with a song. And this next poem in here is called Immigration, or I'm migration. So it's, you know, it's a funny word because it could be both ways. And it's kind of a little, it's about like how, as, you know, Korean Americans, or as this girl in the book, Hana, she seems to always be running from things. And so she's wondering if it's ancestral or what she knows or doesn't know about her home culture as a second generation Korean American. So it's all about that, which I'm sure some of us have experienced in some way or another. And it's a little bit longer, but here it is. Immigration. Maybe flying is in her blood and bones. Great aunts and cousins flying to America to escape the trauma of the forgotten Korean War that left her mom orphaned at 5 and changed her family's fate, burying celadon vases and 24-karat gold hairpins in jars of kimchi, a hive of bustling and displaced cousins and refugees her grandfather took in, plus all of his friends and neighbors still alive arrive until his house swells from 8 to 12 to 50. His lovely wife dies of stress, claustrophobia, war, and poverty. Hana's mother runs from orphanhood, from a colonized country to escape chaos, grief, Molotov cocktails to create a new life, free of conflict, vicious spirals, struggles, and strife. It goes deep, kid. She could be running from the violence her father carried from that war too, into his body, into his home, buried rage from leaving a country stolen, conquered, raped, and pillaged by the Japanese and then Americans, fake friends who took and use the same old divide and conquer formula to occupy one half of their divided country for more than half a century. What pride can one truly carry when one is countryless? All Korean Americans cut in half, divided inside, then hyphen, surviving, trying to survive in the land of the colonizer. Aibu, Bob Marley says, You're running and you're running and you're running away. You're running and you're running and you're running away. You're running and you're running and you're running away. But you can't run away from yourself. She's running from a broken home, running from her broken homeland, her orphan mother and her divided motherland cut into two sides by America and Russia. And she's running into the arms of the first man-child who's ever felt like home, who makes her soul feel less alone, good to smell and warm to hold. She's running from her parents who are mute, who suffered so much they refuse to speak about why. But that simply creates another divide that I bridge for you, dear reader. But imagine how lost, how empty she feels inside with no stories, maps, or songs to guide her in this new world. She inherited a rage that lives like a bomb inside her body. She inherited the stones of Han and is spending her life unloading them from her bowl, one by one, to become light enough to take flight and disappear. Okay, thank you. So that's another intense kind of, Koreans, we like melodrama and drama. So if you like drama, you'll like this book. There's lots of ups and downs and, it's basically like a Korean American melodrama or drama, love story. So if it's okay with you, I'll end with a song. Is that okay? Everybody good? Yeah. So this song is a song that I wrote here in Hawaii, and I wrote it when Tutupele was flowing. So basically, we have a lava goddess on our island. Her name is Tutupele or Pele Honua Mea. And recently, she's been very active. Like right now, if you go to her crater, she's red and glowing. And during one of these, flows, myself and my family, we had to get evacuated because we live very close to the lava. So very intense. And, it was a great lesson in going with the flow, literally. And we learned a lot. And this song came during that time when so much was in upheaval, literally, like the ground underneath our feet was moving. But I was just thinking about like the good things that we have and appreciating and what is our purpose here. And just to let you know, the Hawaiian words that I'm singing, aloha aina means to love the land or take care of the land. And that's something that I've been getting into here, which I recommend for anybody, especially during these times, because gardening is such a good way to connect to the earth and just to feel grounded. So here I've actually, from being a girl in Queens who barely had any plants that lived ever, like I've somehow managed to rediscover or root into my love of gardening. And so that's really been helping to ground me literally and keep me healthy and, feed my kids from the garden. So this song is about loving the land, aloha aina, and getting back to roots. So I hope you enjoy. Through fire and water, through wind and rain, through lava and flood, I love you, my dear friend. Through fire and water, through wind and rain, through lava and flood, I'm here for you, my friend. Mama Gaia is blessing our land, purifying our aina for new world rebirth. Oh, I said, wake up, my people. Wake up, my tribe. Bring the earth, my children, and we're blessed to be alive. We go seed by seed, baby. We grow tree by tree, darling. We grow seed by seed, baby. We grow tree by tree, darling. Aloha aina, mahalo ke akua. Aloha ke akua. Aloha aina, mahalo ke akua. Aloha ke akua. to replant, rebuild, regrow. It's time to trust in our hearts to know we are the ones we've been waiting for, and we're blessed by God for sure. And we are the ones we've been waiting for, and we're blessed by God for sure. 새해 복 많이 받으세요. It's a new year. We're here together, and I know we can get through this, my dear. Oh, I see your heart shining like pure gold. You're the angels, the sweet angels of our world. Yes, I know. We wish you luck and abundance and prosperity. We wish you 사랑 and love every day. To my golden child, to my lovely family around the world. You know that with love we can conquer all fears. 'Cause we're blessed by God above. Happy Lunar New Year. 사랑해, my dear. Wish you all the best, and I know that if you pray and love, you don't have to worry. The rest is taken care of by a cool above. Okay, mahalo nui loa. Aloha. 사랑해. 새해 복 많이 받으세요.
감사합니다. Thank you so much for that beautiful piece. Next, we're going to introduce Epic 88. And this is a segment where the participants can also join in and dance along. So Epic 88 is a K-pop cover duo with the goal of encouraging people of all ages to get up and dance. They won't be able to join us live, but they've kindly compiled a video for our Lunar New Year celebration. Tonight, Epic 88 will be performing a high-energy K-pop Zumba dance class. Everyone, please get up and get moving.
Hey, we're doing a K-pop Zumba dance class. You wanna do it? Okay.
Hello, we're Epic 88.
You don't have to do it if you want to.
Okay, we at Epic 88 want to wish everyone a lucky and prosperous new year here with the Ox. And this is our mascot, Moo Moo.
Out of control 나를 감시하는 저 spotlight 비칠수록 어둠 속으로 빨려들어 끝이 보이는데 I know it's not right I can't stop me, no 내 앞에 놓여진 이 red light 건너편에 너와는 이미 눈에 맞춰 느끼고 싶어 짜릿한 highlight I can't stop me, no
우린 다 freak 우린 다 freak 유쾌한 girl 유쾌한 girl
했던 마음 다 털어내봐 Oh baby 아무 생각 안 나게
I got you got you got you
미친 듯이 do it again
I want you want you want you
이 세상 흔들어 깨워보다
믿음의 몸을 느껴 다 같이 super clap 나를 따라 super clap 모두 super clap super clap 난 don't mind 모두 hit the bass let's hit the bass 짝소리에 몸 반응해 다 몸을 굴러내 dance
어려워 가슴을 wavy 무대를 버티고 swearing 기분은 아닌 것 같지 거긴 오늘 뭐
리듬을 타 고민 다 free 볼륨은 up 볼륨 up
했던 마음 다 털어내봐 Oh baby 아무 생각 안 나게
I got you got you got you
미친 듯이 do it again
I want you want you want you
이 세상 흔들어 깨워보다
믿음의 몸을 느껴 다 같이 super clap 나를 따라 super clap 모두 super clap 나를 따라 super clap 모두 super clap
하늘 위에 닿게 let it go 폭발시켜 너를 boom 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 참아왔던 우린 다 같이 온 세상이 흔들리게 super clap
yeah.
I'll make you super clap yeah yeah Oh baby 아무 생각 안 나게
I got you got you got you
미친 듯이 do it again
I want you want you want you
이 세상 흔들어 깨워볼까
믿음의 몸을 느껴
Oh yeah yeah 아무 생각 안 나게
I got you got you got you
미친 듯이 do it again
I want you want you want you
이 세상 흔들어 깨워볼까
믿음의 몸을 느껴 다 같이 super clap 나를 따라 super clap
super clap
모두 super clap 나를 따라 super clap 모두 super clap
Cause I'm in the stars tonight So watch me bring the fire Set the night light Shoes on, get up in the morning Cup of milk, let's rock and roll Kink out, kick the drum Rolling on like a rolling stone Sing song when I'm walking home Jump up to the top of the brown Ding dong, call me on my phone Nice tea and I'll get my ping pong
This is dead heavy can't hear the bass boom I'm ready life is sweet as honey yeah this beat chain like money
This go all alone I'm into that, I'm good to go I'm diamond, you know I glow up
hey so let's go
Cause I'm in the stars tonight So watch me bring the fire Set the night light
hey
Shining through the city with a little funky soul So I'ma light
apologize for that. But I think the video had a problem, so I can't load the rest of it.
Okay, that's fine. I think we can end right there because it's almost
But-
time. So
Yeah, we're
thank you
almost
so
out of
much
time
for
anyways.
everyone for being here. If you have any questions, you could just drop it in the chat. And if you haven't signed up already, we have volunteer shifts available where you can help out in the campaign. And Lisa will be helping us dropping that in the chat.
Please go to www.doncho.nyc/events to see all of our upcoming events in the field. Events, we'd love to have you join us on these campaign activities.
I want to thank everyone who came out today, including Isul, Epic88, Taehoon for hosting us and emceeing. I think Kapsu was helping us with translation interpretation. Nisa, thank you for the tech supports. John On, I think you're still on. Thank you so much for joining us as a special guest. I also want to wish everyone, in addition to the Lunar New Year, it's Valentine's Day, and I'm with my love here. And guess what she got me? A cake.
And chocolate. I got you chocolate.
And chocolates. So very appreciative of all the people in my life and everyone who came out to support today's events. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions or anything that you'd like to discuss, we could stay on for a couple of minutes, and maybe we can play some music.
보고 싶단 말 대신